Nah, the group broke up. I mean, we got to a point where Jive Records wanted us to do. I mean, we went in to do the second album, and after we did the second album, they wanted us to go back in and change a few things about what we were doing.
What's that?
And music, direction, production, etc. And we didn't want to do that because we were saying that you guys signed us to sound this way. Why should we change our sound if we're selling?
So what was the alterations they wanted you to make?
I'm sorry?
What did they want you to change?
The type of the producers we were using at the time. I didn't want to use like a Jazzy Jeff or a Fresh Prince producer.
Yeah, you guys are at the same label.
We're at the same label, so you can't make the Fu-Schnickens sound like that. And that's not us taking anything from that sound, but that's just not us. You know, you got three guys from East Flatbush. It's more so boom bap and something else, you know what I mean? So to try to change that because we're selling records now, that was kind of backwards to me because I mean, we came with what we came with and we're selling records.
Right.
And you're shocked because it's the three dudes from Brooklyn that's selling records. And you're like, well, they're really selling records, you know what I'm saying? And they sound like how they sound, you know what I mean? So, I mean, we tapped into a market which was our family market, the West Indies. We tapped into our market where they was like, yo, we truly got some dudes, you know, some West Indian dudes that's into some hip hop that know how to make records, you know?
Right.
It got to the point where a lot of people thought we were from Long Island, not Flatbush. They was like, especially when we dropped Breakdown, they was like, yo, that doesn't even sound like a Flatbush record.
At all.
I said, it's not a Flatbush record, it's a record. It's the business, you know what I'm saying? You gotta make records. The record went gold, had conversations with people, what made you do a record like that? We just creating records. We understand that it's a business and you gotta make money and you gotta make records, you get me? So
they had an issue with your production?
They had an issue, I wouldn't even say it was an issue. I think that they thought that, okay, so they're selling records, guys, let's try something else to take it to the next level. And we sitting there like, we took it to the next level already, you know what I mean? This is the second album. Second album don't sound like the first. The second album went gold, so what's the problem? Let's keep going. And for me, it was just like if they wanted to change, I'm not gonna change who I am for nobody, fuck that, you know what I mean? So if that's the case, let's just dissolve the contract and we all go our separate ways.
Well, I gotta know what kind of direction they were pushing you in to make you say
more pop, because at that time they were starting to sign pop artists, right? So it wasn't a problem with us doing a record like, let's say, with High Five, because they were signed to Jive, right? Fu-Schnickens and High Five, dudes sing the chorus, we do drop our verses, we got something there.
Right.
But we ain't trying to come with the synths and all those other stuff to pretty up nothing. That wasn't us, you know what I mean?
What do you mean? Like pretty up?
We don't want pretty music, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You digging,
they was trying
you're
to
digging, bro. You're digging.
Yeah, because I want to know, like,
they was trying to pretty it up too much, and that's not us. That's not who we were as people. You know what I mean?
So they were like pushing you towards like Black Eyed Peas or something like that?
Like, I don't want to say pushing us toward Black Eyed Peas, but the music wasn't sounding like hip hop anymore. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about it. For us to move from how we were sounding before to elevate to start doing records like Visions and Breakdown, etc. That's the elevation for us, right? Because we're still selling records and it's still respected. So for y'all to come in and say y'all want to bring in producers, that wasn't comfortable for us. We were just like, nah, we knew what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? We want to work with the same people we worked with before, Tribe, you know what I'm saying, Eric Sermon, etc. Let's just keep it going because we're selling records. So I could understand if we weren't selling any records.
Right.
And then you were saying, well, we need to change something up because they're not moving nothing off the shelves.
Right.
It's
If it's not broke, don't fix it kind of
right.
shit.
So then for me, it's just like, okay, well, let's try something different, but if it's working, leave it alone. You know
so did y'all even try something or y'all just said, fuck it?
Nah, I ain't gonna try nothing new.
You never give him an end, is what he's saying. He's like, we not.
There's something more there. There's something more there.
You could dig, bro, but there ain't nothing more there.
There's something more there.
You digging, but it ain't nothing more there.
How was your relationship with the other members at the time when they came to y'all and asked y'all to do this?
Our relationship was cool. Our relationship was cool. All right, so
one of them niggas he said was his man, and the other one he said was his man's man. All right, so only one of them.
Nah, let me clarify that.
Right.
Those are both my boys. Those are both my boys. Those are my brothers. I love the both of them. And like brothers, you tend to get into arguments sometimes, and then you just work it out. But there was an incident because everybody asked me about this. I don't talk about it. It was an incident with myself and one of the group members, Math Hoffa. We got into a heated discussion, and things went south. We got into a fight. The fight went left. I got arrested because of the fight. Sheriffs ran up into my house and escorted me out.
What kind of fight was this?
Fist fight, brother.
Fist
Fight. And it didn't end up good. I'm not proud of it though.
Yeah.
You know, as a grown man, I'm not proud of it. At that time, you know, you get into a space where you just like, you got to protect what's yours. And I don't think that if you have respect for a person, you're supposed to put your hands on them. You know what I mean? But what happened was I didn't believe that a person that I had a certain level of respect for would disrespect me. So that rubbed me wrong. You get me? You know what I'm saying? So fist fight ensued. You know, things went.
What was the fist fight over?
Disrespect. And I think it was actually building up. You know, throughout the time we were in the group, I think it was building up. I think that he and I used to just bump heads when it came to creativity and just, you know, we bumped heads when it came to certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Did you hit him with the, you ain't nothing without David Ruffin?
Nah, there was nothing like that.
Come see you. Come see you, Otis.
Nah, it was nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
So was it just music tensions? Like just
Wait, I gotta ask. That's the light skinned nigga, right?
Yeah.
Right, Paul.
We ain't doing a light skinned nigga shit.
Because we know.
No, but you ain't doing a light skinned nigga shit.
If you could give a 3-man group advice on how to stay together, what would you tell them?
Tell one of them niggas to DJ.
A 3-man.
Stop.
If I was supposed to give a 3-man group advice,
Yeah.
it would be it will always be honest. You know, you got to be honest with each other, and you got to listen to each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
DJ.
If you have conversations, if you have conversations with each other, it's you gotta respect those conversations. You know what I'm saying? You can't step outside of the conversation and think that you know what you know. Meaning, if you and I have a conversation and we're gonna leave it here, let's just leave it here. If we walk outside and you bring it back up, it's because you want it to be something that it's not anymore.
Ladies
Because
and
we
gentlemen,
just
that
did
is
it.
hindsight from a nigga who beat the fuck out of a nigga at one time.
Yo, come on.
I'm not
We clapping for that.
We do not clap for that. I'm
What
telling
you
you
doing,
exactly
Cuzzo?
what the fuck that
Cuzzo
is.
like, yeah.
No, I'm not clapping for that.
That's exactly what that is.
I'm not clapping for
That's-
that.
You don't gotta clap for that. That's hindsight wisdom.
No,
I was
listen.
telling him for years. You
Listen,
should've
no.
Come on,
Hold on.
We don't condone violence.
Let's
I'm gonna tell you exactly what that was.
He dressed it up, he called the whole
I'm hearing what he's saying out of his mouth. He's telling you exactly. You asked, you was digging, what happened? That's what happened. He said, leave it alone. A nigga ain't leave it
Eventually,
alone.
some people get envious, and they're not gonna say it, but they express it in a lot of ways, and then it starts to get disrespectful.
Oh, so I was right earlier when I said this. A nigga need to DJ. Nah, a nigga need to DJ. That's the problem.
Stop.
No,
Stop.
listen.
Stop. Come on, man.
Any group, right? It's normally the MC and the DJ, right? That's a 2-man group, right? Then it had 2-man and a DJ. Okay, that's a 3-man group, but those two have a dynamic where it's a back and forth. If you have 3 MCs, somebody has to be the last nigga on the group. I'm sorry. And once you have that nigga and the crowd is like, yo.
But again, I'm gonna say, you know what I'm saying?
While when somebody realizes somebody else is getting all the attention, it starts building.
But again, I'm gonna say, respectfully, you know what I'm saying? As a grown man, when I look back at it, it's, you know, I'm not proud of that.
Right.
I could definitely say I'm not proud of that. You know what I'm saying? I think that when it happened, it was building up, and because at the end of the day, you know, certain men have to walk a road. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna disrespect anybody. And people look at, you know, because at the end of the day, that's my brother. I don't want nobody to disrespect him or nothing like that. You get me? So at the end of the day, it did happen. It had to happen. You know, it happened the way in which it happened. I'm not comfortable about that. You get me? I'm not comfortable about, sheriffs coming in my crib. I'm not comfortable about being arrested. I'm not comfortable about none of that shit.
Right.
Spending a night in jail or a few nights, I'm not comfortable with that.
Right.
Especially when it came from somebody that, I deemed to be my brother. So you're gonna leave there with a different sort of anger. You get me?
Somebody that you guys kind of played a pivotal role in changing each other's lives.
There you go. So imagine imagine that you sit down, you have dinners together, you break bread together, and then that happens. That's a different flex right there. So you're gonna get mad for several reasons. You're gonna be like, yo, first and foremost, I thought you was my man. So you're not my man if you have sheriffs run up in my crib. That's not good. You know what I'm saying?
Back in the day, you're supposed to hold that. Since when we call the cops.
You can't even shoot the 5 no more.
Nah, you can't.
Because niggas will call the cops.
Listen, I'm old enough to know better, young enough to not give a fuck.
There's like 8 niggas running around New York that I want to shoot the 5 with right now.
Damn.
Just being real.
Damn.
Just being real. But I know what'll happen. Niggas will call the cops.
So, but back to because I really wanna know this. So, okay, y'all at a point where the label is trying to force y'all into doing music the way that y'all don't want to do it. So the tensions are already there. Did anyone in the group want to do what the label?
No, none of us did.
So none of y'all wanted to do it.
None of us did.
Okay. So what happens next? What do you do
Well,
next?
well, at that particular point in time, you say, some groups, they put them on hiatus and be like, well, you guys are not going to record for a while.
Shelf.
You shelf them. For us, we didn't want to do the whole shelving thing because we understood. You think about it. Tribe Called Quest, when they finally dropped that album on Jive, how long were they signed to Jive? They were signed to Jive for a long time, right? So I'm sitting there saying, just let us out the contract if you're not, happy with what I did, what we did, sorry.
I mean, you went gold, you recouped, right?
Yeah, we recouped. We went platinum first, the second album we went gold. So to us, it's like, yo, y'all playing right now. We're actually doing exactly what you guys asked us to do, which is make good records. So we just made a decision to just disband. But what Jive did was actually, at the time, we were still signed to the publishing, where you couldn't put out anything. Anything that you put out, they own a percentage of it. So then it's like, what do you do now? So I was just like, I'm gonna just change my name when it comes to certain things and put out different records and dance hall records and all sorts of stuff and just still buzz up. And when people see me, they know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it worked in my favor. Yeah.
So that's where Jungle
Rock Jr.
Jungle
Yeah,
Rock
man,
Jr.
hold on. Cause this album here, boy, this mixtape, I was like, oh, they didn't know that this nigga was nice.
Listen,
This nigga.
yeah. So I just started putting out, different stuff. And shout out to, rest in peace to Phil Pabone. Phil Pabone was the one that was like, yo, a lot of people don't know, what you're capable of doing. We got to find certain outlets to let people understand. You know what I'm saying? In comes the whole DigiWax with Corey over there. You know what I'm saying? CL from DigiWax. Pabone was like, what we're going to do is that whole other side of you when it comes to reggae and singing and all them dancehall tunes, let Corey put them out. You know what I'm saying? And then when I released the Love Me Sensi record, 500,000. And then it was the answer to the Kali Budge record. No one knew who it was. They was like, yo, who is this dude? We're playing this record at radio. We don't know who it is right now, right? So they done paid for the Shabba Ranks remix. They paid for the G-Unit remix. They stopped playing it and started playing my mix to it. And then when they found out who it was, they was like, yo, we didn't know that he could do that. Right. But then at the same time, cease and desist from Sony. Like you can't.
Is that what happened?
Oh yeah. You can't use that, cease and desist, because now they're looking at what's going on YouTube and they're like, yo, he had 500,000 views in the first week. You know what I'm saying? So then they're just like, yo, if he actually cleared a sample and put this joint out, it's over for us. You know what I mean? So then for me, I was just like, oh, I'm able to do that? Oh, okay, cool. I'm going to start running with this Jungle Rock Jr. stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Touring with Sean Paul and Conscience and all of them. And they not knowing, right? But the funniest thing was, on that same show, I want to say this was in early 2000s. I came to the back room. I didn't know MF Doom was on the show. So it was MF Doom, Sean Paul, Conscience, and somebody else. And MF Doom walks in, and I'm like, this dude from Peach Fuzz, you know what I'm saying?
Zeph
Whatever.
Love,
He was
yeah.
like, Fu-Schnickens, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, yo, that's a smart move. But when understanding it now, it's the metal face for him. But for me, it was changing my total name. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And it worked out. It worked good in my favor. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
For real.
That's dope. All right.
Yo, that's beautiful right there.
We kind of went past some things, so I'm
It's all right, you can-
gonna roll back. But we're gonna take a 5-minute break first.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.